Hello again. Welcome to my channel. My name is Judy. And if this is your first time here, absolutely welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are coming back to listen to more of my thoughts, I'm glad you're coming back. Before we get started, make sure you do hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. And maybe a notification bell. And when I'm all done talking about the subject that we're going to talk about right now, if you think that maybe you gained some insight, or perhaps you were just entertained, make sure you hit that like button for me, okay? I really appreciate it. So what I want to talk about is something that I have said a few times, not recently, but in the past. I certainly hear it all the time. And there's a part of it that's sort of true. So I got some stuff up on the computer that I actually want to read to you. So I have to put on my glasses. You know, I'm on this side. I'm on this side of 60. I'm actually really close to 70 years old, so hope you don't mind, but I can't see without them. What I want to talk about today is life fair? What is fair? What does that mean? And why do we think life isn't fair? That original quote, I wish I should have my computer in front of me here, and then you wouldn't have to see me leaning over. It's just for a second. The original quote was by somebody named Charles J. Sykes. And he said, "Life is not fair, get used to it." Well, that was a harsh little thing to say, wasn't it? We'll talk about that. I also read on Google, our dear friend Google, when people ask, what does it mean that life is not fair? And the answer to that question on here is originally, it was answered this way. What does someone mean when they say that life is not fair? The phrase means that no one has control over what happens in life. Events happen randomly. The universe has no conscience and is not aware of any right, wrong, fair, or unfair. That sounds kind of awful. Okay, so let me make sure I'm very clear when I talk about fair. So many ways to talk about it. But when I talk about fair, I'm certainly not saying that it's okay for there to be some people to be treated poorly and some people to be treated well, and that's still fair. You know, equality and you know, anything that separates us causes a feeling of life being unfair. So I'm not really talking about, you know, racial equality or, you know, gay or race. You know, I just said race. I'm not talking about that kind of equality, although that could certainly fit into my talk. I do believe people should all be treated as human beings and equal. We certainly are equal in God's eyes. And who are we to say what someone should think, what they should wear, what they should do? I mean, first, it's not our life. It's theirs. And in life, when you're here on earth, and, you know, there's a bunch of people who, you know, have money, or maybe somebody wins the lottery, and you play every day, and you never win. And that person went, I've never played before, and I just won $16 million. You're like, that's not fair. It may not appear to be, but we have to decide whether the universe has no control or it does. Now, you know, once again, the big picture in a person's life, every one of us, Our soul is looking to find some balance in the reason they're here. Their destiny, their fate, their what I called adikarma. The reason they came, to find balance in some area of life that there is not a balance in yet. And I don't even know what mine is, let alone somebody else's. I don't know, you know. So people make decisions in their life by free will. You can do whatever you want. You can make the decisions you want depending on the life you chose to come into and see how it goes. And sometimes the things that happen to us do not appear to be fair, and in fact maybe they aren't, if you think of fair that way. But we have to remember that the universe offers us lots of ways to meet the goal that we came here to achieve. And depending on what path we choose and what we decide to do with what we know, we might or might not achieve it, right? And sometimes if we start feeling sorry for ourselves, and that's a whole other video, but thinking that that's not fair, somebody owes me something. For instance, if I'm at work and there's 2 or 3 of us that do the same kind of job that I'm doing, and it's time for our raises, and these other 3 people, man, they came out of that manager's office with big smiles on their face, you know? And I went in there and I think I work harder than they do. I wasn't real pleased with what I heard. I didn't get very big raise at all. Why are they smiling? Why I'm not smiling? That's not fair. I do all the work. It does seem like it's not fair. And maybe in this life it really looks like it's not fair. But if we're here to learn every kind of emotion and every kind of thing, and there's more to it than that, I haven't even gotten into, but wouldn't it be an interesting thing to learn what it's like to work really hard and not really be acknowledged for it? Maybe we were some nasty boss in another life who let people work really hard and never gave them anything. And now here we are. Do you have to put up with that? No, you can have a nice talk with your manager. Should you go in screaming and crying like a 2-year-old? Probably not. But you could have an adult, business-like relationship kind of a conversation, and maybe something would change. Maybe you can do something about the thing that's not fair. You don't have to just go, oh, that's not fair. Oh, well, life's a bummer. You can do that. That's a choice. Another choice might be to say, you know what, I don't think I was treated properly. I'm going to go ahead and explain why I think I should have gotten a better raise. You certainly don't mention the other people with the smiles on their faces, right? You know better than to do that. What is not fair can sometimes be the most fair thing, because it teaches us how then to make something fair. Not just to feel bad, you hate that boss and blah, 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 you know. That doesn't do anything for you except drag you further down. And it's bringing me down too, because we're all going together right over Niagara Falls. Fairness is not just about the way the world treats us, or the way we think the world's treating us, because a lot of it's perspective. It's about how we react when we think the world's not fair. That's where the lesson is. That's what we're here to figure out. At least it's one of the small things that'll perhaps help us achieve that goal of adikarma being balanced. Wasn't fair? Okay. I don't think it's fair that my mom really, really, really liked my sister and she really, really, really didn't like me. But I have learned so much about that, about me. It's really been a difficult and long, and for a long time, a very hurtful kind of life. But now, I'm fine. I'm fine because I chose not to accept that what she said was right. I chose not to accept any of that kind of talk at me from anybody. I chose to take a stand. I got some therapy. I did something about it because I knew something wasn't right. I didn't think it was me. Mr. Rogers said I was really special. And then I found friends who could lift me up. Or maybe they found me, but is life fair? I don't know. If it isn't, are you going to do anything about that? Are you just going to take the way out? Oh, well, maybe next time we'll figure it out. It's up to you. Life's not controlling you. You're controlling your life. Do you see what I'm saying? You. Nothing else. Nobody else. It's all on your shoulders. Your choices. It's not easy sometimes. You're up for it. You've had worse battles in the past. I hear you might have been Genghis Khan. All right, so something to think about, right? Please let me know what you're thinking about what I said. I love comments. I like to talk back and forth with people about it. So please, please, please leave a comment if you would. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for listening.